My name is Mutua Matheka, aka Truthslinger. I'm a husband, father, and I take pictures for a living. Welcome to my space. This is 123Sketches. I'm going to try. I don't do very well with favorites. I'll probably just answer and say that. I have, I think, favorites for every week. They have every week favorites because I don't do well. I don't really do well with favorites. I'd rather like why do I want to choose one? Can't I choose 100 favorites? I cannot remember any of their names because I'm being pressured. A picture that I shot in Namibia of on the edge. It's like on the edge of this gorge. What is it called? Fish River Canyon. The thing is, for anyone, I don't think I was actually working on a video about that, but in a very condensed way, it is work that got me out of that block. Like, it's just continuous working. It might not feel inspirational at the time, but it was doing the work still, and that has to be personal work, because to me it's easy to do client work without inspiration because they have a requirement, you go shoot. And so that's why I think if a photographer only does client work, to me then it becomes very hard for you to figure out what is your style, what do you love doing, because what you love doing can't only be determined by what people pay you to do. And so I think every photographer should have a lot of work that they do by themselves without anyone paying them. And that's because that's where the passion comes in. If you can do something over and over, no one is paying you, you're actually spending your own money, then you get to quickly know what it is that you love to do and what you don't love to do. And so for me, that's what I do. So over time, I've figured out I really love this because I will do it client or not. Yeah. On the other hand, when everything you do, someone pays for it, then it can be tricky knowing what it is that if no one paid for it, then what happens? If at some point people are not interested in you, then do you change what you're shooting, or do you still shoot that thing? If someone wanted something from me that I don't do, it's okay for me to ask them, look, I don't do that, but that person does what you want, so maybe go to them as opposed to me. You understand? So that's the tricky part of that. So it's important for people to just build up work from themselves that is inspired by what they truly love. If you're trying to stop shooting weddings, you wouldn't do that by posting more weddings. It is by posting more work in the area that you want to be hired in. It's one trick that I saw on, I think it was Chase Jarvis, who has a podcast and videos that brings people and does like a creative school. And I thought that was interesting because I'd not thought about it that way, even though it's very simple, but I'd not seen it that way. And it makes sense, because if people associate you with weddings, why would they hire you to shoot architecture? If they associate you with architecture, why would they hire you to shoot lifestyle? So that's just how it is. Meaning, if you're trying to move away into something new, stop posting the old and start posting more of what you want to be associated with. In that case, and by the way, while saying this, I'm actually not even a great example, because I am an architectural photographer who posts very little architecture on my Instagram. And so when I say that, when people look at my Instagram, they're like, the opposite is also true. I don't photograph portraits for money, but I love shooting portraits. And people go to my Instagram and they're like, yeah, I like you, how much do you charge for portraits? And they're like, I don't shoot portraits. But also I see how contradictory that is, because I'm like, I understand how that is confusing, but what I meant to say is that I don't shoot portraits for money. I only shoot portraits of people that I've met and I like, and we're hanging out, or that have a very interesting look that I'm like, I'd like to capture. That just makes me feel like, this look could be interesting to capture. And that's how I operate. But when it comes to the commercial side of things, it's good to have a very strong thing that you do if that's what you're interested in. Also, there are people who, for them, their language is shooting everything, which is also fine. I just, for me, find that I can't be a master of many things. So I'd rather reduce what I do to a very small niche and be a big fish in a small pond. I think for me, that's just how I prefer than being a small fish in a big pond. It's just my preference. I believe in breakthroughs, but not probably in the way that people think about them. I don't think there's a big bang and then there was nothing and then suddenly there's something. I think for most people who you think that they've had a breakthrough, you find that it happened. Some small things have happened for a very long time, and then maybe like a big thing, and then maybe. So you find that this, for me, I feel like is a result of all these tiny things. And for me, that's how I feel like my career in photography has been. It's just been small steps, building speed and building steam, and then suddenly it will seem like, oh, he's everywhere, but it's not really. It didn't just explode, because I've been shooting, this is my 9th year now as a photographer. I would like to think that the actions I've taken in the past 9 years have brought me to where we are. That and being extremely lucky and extremely fortunate and extremely blessed combined all together. But the part I can't control, I don't feel like anyone can control luck, but we can be better prepared for it.
But there's luck.
There is luck, but it has to find you. Like if you're lucky and you get a big project, but you are not able to handle it, that is wasted luck. Yes, you were lucky you got it, but then your capacity had not been built to that level. And I believe if that happens, then is it really luck for you? That's not luck. In fact, that's bad luck, because it exposes you in a way that you don't want to be. Because first of all, let's say you're lucky, you land on this multi-million shilling job, but it requires huge capacity and your capacity is this small. And then you take the job because you're like, hey, this is favor, this is my lucky day, let's do this. And you go there and you do the work, but you do it badly. What that happens is you get known from that work as the person who did it badly. I don't know if that is good luck or you'd see that as bad luck. But on the other hand, there could be someone who has built their capacity slowly, and then they're lucky that they're in the right place, right time, their name comes up. Then they get the job and they do it well because their life has been leading up to this job. When I see people like, I will use an example of someone like Osborne, because I know he's done work for Disney and Marvel, but he didn't come from doing nothing to that. He'd done so much of his own small projects, such that by the time they asked him to do this, he's already practiced enough on his own work. When you look at, for me, doing Unscrambling Africa, travel road trip around 10 countries, more than 18,000 kilometers, you will see that, and most people know about that. But before I did that, I'd also done a shorter road trip to Bujumbura over, say, a little over 3 weeks. Before doing that, I'd done a lot of road trips within Kenya, to Naivasha, back to Samburu and back, whether it's 1 day, 2 day, 4 day. Then that went on to 17 days to Bujumbura and back. Then that went on to 100 days. So all these small days led up to this. If I just got up once and did the 100 days, it would have been a mess. There's a high chance that would have been a mess. And so I think luck finds us. If luck finds us prepared, then it becomes good luck, because it finds you in the best position possible. And so before that happens, the best someone can do is to get up Do the work every day. Do the work. The day the luck finds you, because luck is chance. When it finds you ready. You can't control the luck, but you can control where you'll be. So you can be lucky just based on how you've prepared yourself for this luck. Yeah.